Hello everybody, this is John here, aka Professor Bubbles, and once again, welcome to my laboratory. Today, we're going to take a different approach. I decided to do my first review, and we're going to start with Chilling Reigns. And I must say that this set, if you're new to Pokemon, or you are a veteran to Pokemon, because the rotation's happening, this is the set to get. Not just because of how many secret cards are in here, of how well balanced this set makes the game, the format for standard right now. So I'm going to just start going off each card, going down the list, and we're just going to talk about each card, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think it's going to be good or not. So starting off, you have Volcanion V for 220, and it's also a single strike Pokemon. It has a normal attack, Heat Blast, does 50, and the attack that's very interesting is the second attack, which is the Dynamic Tackle. It does 100 damage plus, if this Pokemon has 10 damage counters on it, it can do 150 more damage. Now, yeah, you have to place damage counters on them, or you have to have at least 100 damage on it. So it's down to 120. But it's a situational card. I mean, it's good. It has a registering effect, but if you can knock out the Pokemon one turn, the effect's not really going to go off. So it's a 50-50 situation. This card, I believe, will see a lot more play than people realize. Mainly for both the ability and for the attack. That's Celebi VMAX. The ability Healing Force basically could heal once per turn. Heal 20 damage for each of your grass Pokemon in play. Well, if you got 4 VMAX Celebis on the field, that's 80 damage of healing per turn during your turn play. And a second attack is nothing to cry about either. For a grass and colorless Max Plant, 130. Search your deck for 2 Pokemon, reveal it, and put them in your hand. Then you shuffle your deck. Well, if you're playing a quad Celebi deck and you don't want to run any other Pokemon, you basically are just getting all the cards out without having to use. You can use Quick Ball, and instead of having Incense, this card helps you accelerate that process. So yeah, it's a really gonna be a stable card for grass. Then you got yourself a Sankata, and Sankata VMAX does Impulse for 60, does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That is very interesting. For a VMAX Pokemon, it's not doing a lot of damage, but for 1 energy, that's gonna stack up really fast. Yeah, it actually can be a very interesting format for that card. With the grass, it's there. It's situational. Gmax Cyclone for 180 damage. Move any energy from this Pokemon to any other Pokemon you like. Yeah, I see that's gonna be pretty good. It's not a single strike Pokemon. It's not multi-strike. So I can see this with Colossal that could accelerate energies, so who knows, that might be a good option to play. I know Blessing is a very interesting card. Whenever you attach energy from your hand to this Pokemon, you can heal all conditions from it, so that's not a bad way to get rid of side effects. But the second attack is what's very interesting. Happy Blast does 10 plus 30 more damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon, and then after you use that attack, you can attach up to 3 energies cards for your discard pile to this Pokemon. Now, again, it uses 3 energy cards. We don't. Hopefully, the translation doesn't say basic. That should mean that you should be able to get special energies. And say if you run 4 powerful energies, well, guess what? Boom, attach 3 of them, and now your attack goes. See, 30, 30, 30. That's 90. Then you add 60 from each of the 20 pluses, so that's 100. You do 160 damage. Not bad for an attack that helps you accelerate damage. Then you got yourself Metagross V. Let's see, Rapid Strike Pokemon. So Octory Dex, you got a good searcher. First attack is not bad. You flip 2 coins, so you do possibly 60 damage, 40, or guaranteed 20. Second attack for 2 energy, you do Synchro Hammer. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, has 2 energy cards, does 9 more damage. Okay, well, there are a lot of attacks in the new set are kind of 2 energy based, so that could be an interesting idea. Bring Flavel and do Mischief to reduce the energy costs. energy on the active Pokemon to sync it up, so not bad. The VMAX version, let's see, it's 330 HP, fire weakness, magnetic adhesion. Let's see, search your deck for up to 2 cards from your hand. Okay, so built-in guarantee 2 cards, 2 energy, max rush. During your next turn, this attack does 150 more damage. Okay, so if you do the attack next turn, you're doing 250, 250, 250, 250. So yeah, it's interesting. Just hope you don't get gust wind or escape roped or boss order, and it kind of negates that. So it has its benefits. Now this support I thought was going to be very interesting in the new format. Caitlyn. I know we had this card before, but choose any number of cards in your hand, put them in any order at the bottom of your deck, and then draw the main cards off your deck. So say if you're playing a Stage 2 deck and you have the Stage 2 Pokemon, but you really need that rare candy, or vice versa, rare candy but you don't have that Pokemon. Well, keep the rare candy and ditch all the other cards, put them on the bottom, and draw out, so you're not ditching the source you have. So it's situational. Agatha is a very interesting supporter. Move 3 damage counters from your active Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. I mean, if it had a little more damage, we'll see. I gotta see all the cards to be able to justify that this is gonna be a good card or not. Well, these I like to call them the Power Rangers, but the Gloves of Justice. Basically, there's a series of these tool cards. This one does 30 damage if your opponent's active Dark type Pokemon. So I don't think these cards are gonna see as much play people think they are. I mean, it's a cool concept. Like, again, attack from this Pokemon. This card's attached to does 30 more damage to your opponent's active Grass type Pokemon. They're situational. It's cool. It does that extra 30. The other problem I have with this is that it's situational what deck you play. So I don't see much of these cards being played unless you run like a rainbow version of one of all and hope one works. So it's not on top of my list. Doctor, draw 2 cards. Your opponent's active Pokemon is a VMAX. Draw 2 more cards. So I guess for VMAX decks, you want to keep your hand and accelerate. Well, it's a +1 from what was it? I know one of the cards is a draw 3. I'm trying to talk in my head, and I was like, I think it's Sharon back then, but basically it's a good plus. Yeah, Frostlands. The ability Frost Up. When this card is played from your hand to one of your Pokemon, you may attach 1 water energy from discard pile to one of your Pokemon play. And the second attack, this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn, does 90. What's interesting about this is I recently made a deck with Akrima VMAX, and it needs energies to accelerate the damage ratio. So I see four lineup of this with 4 scoop ups, and you basically evolve and just accelerate energies at will for water decks. So that is going to be a very interesting concept, I believe. There's some decks that take full advantage of that. So we'll see what's going to happen with it. Let's see. Kirilla. Stage 1. So let's see. Mirage set. Search your deck for up to 3. Okay. So basically, if you guys are familiar with Greninja, or is it Frogonier? It's a Stage 1. Basically, it's the Shadow Clone. Basically, take all your Stage 1s and place them on the board. So we'll see what the Gladiator is. This attack is not affected by resistance or energy. The second attack is what's worth it. It does 60 more damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon V play. And oh, okay. So we got attack here. If your opponent wants to play V Pokemon, this is going to abuse it. So single player decks, you got a good combination here between the Psychic and the Fighting scenario. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting play. Rough Helmets. Whenever this active Pokemon card is attached to, takes damage from your opponent's active Pokemon. Choose energy attached to the attacking Pokemon and put it in your opponent's hand. Oh, okay. Rough Helmet is going to be a card to see play. I can already see why. So if you take damage from your opponent's Pokemon, yeah, it's that ability is going to be super awesome. So yeah, I definitely see that being played a lot. Breakthrough Gloves, again, 30 more damage. Power Rangers, Except it has to be a metal type Pokemon. I don't see a lot of abilities to play. This card, I feel like it's going to be a good tech in the future. Gridnet, because of his ability, Brazen Tail. Energies attached to your Pokemon play cannot be discarded or be put back in your hand or deck by effects of your opponent's items supporter cards. So basically, Crushing Hammer, ignore it. Special hammers, enhanced hammers, you ignore it. Abilities to discard, sorry, not abilities, but supporter cards that help you bounce energies or discard energies in any way, shape, or form, ignore them all. So all the basics that people run, if they want to run those cards, it's going to become useless with this tech card. So, yeah, that's interesting. Bennett. It's single strike Pokemon, and it has, it's the same idea as Frost, if you're familiar with it. Resolute Spike. Put up to 7 damage counters on this Pokemon. This attack does 20 more damage for each damage you place this way. So, basically, it puts itself at 10 HP left if it has full health. And you could do 140 damage for 1 energy. Or 160 if you have the single strike energy. But if you attach it with Houndoom, you'll knock yourself out. And the second attack is okay. It's an interesting concept for 1 energy to do a lot of damage. Your opponent is going to take a prize next turn. But it's kind of like a 1-for-1 kind of card. You want to hit for as much as you can. And then hopefully you can set up next turn to hit again and knock their out. So we'll see. Porygon Z, Glitch Transmission. Once per turn, when you attach energy from your hand to this Pokemon, you may leave your opponent's active Pokemon confused. Again, there's a lot of switching abilities and a lot of Pokemon that have free retreat right now. Have very low retreat costs, so I don't see this being a huge card being played right now, but we'll see. Quillfish is a single strike Pokemon. If this Pokemon is active Pokemon is knocked out by damage to your opponent's attack, place 6 damage counters on the Pokemon. That's not a bad ability. I believe his attack will be very interesting too. Does 30 put you poison, so that actually is going to be a very unique deck if you run it with Froggenite? Yeah, that's the one where I believe between turns poison does +2 more, so I believe if I remember correctly, instead of taking 1 damage counter, you take 3 damage counters. So you could play this with Houndoom, combination with this card, combination with that, and help accelerate the poison as well as do more damage. So that might see some interesting plays. We'll see. I'm gonna put a deck in the future for that one for sure. And you got T-Rear now. So it's stage 2, 2 colorless energies, and it has an attack called Step On. 10 plus. This attack does 50 more damage for each energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Okay. As long as they have a lot of retreat costs, then yeah, it would be really good. Solar Beam for 120, simple. And then you got your play Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and go into the next version of Pokemons. So you got previous translations. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and talk about these. Ice Rider. For 2 energies, it does 10 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. So, okay. It's basic attack. Frost Smash. This is the basic V. So what we care about is going to be the VMAX versions. But we will both have the Water and Psychic version. So they're simple. Attach energy from the discard pile to this Pokemon for Psychic energy. Not bad. Here we go. Zero V. This is Aurea. So you do CrossFit for 100 for 1 lightning and 2 colors. If any of the other Rapid Strike Pokemon use an attack during your last turn, this attack also does 160 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, the whole idea is to switch. Use the stadium that gives you the 2 free retreat cost, and you can run a different Pokemon out there to take a swing. And this one's doing active damage and 160 a bench. That is going to be a very interesting card in the next format. I'm telling people, this is the set that's going to make and break a lot of cards. 20 is V. Of course, it's single strike. It does blow through, stay in play, does 20 more damage. If you have a single strike energy, 60 damage. So, single strike Pokemon, you can run Houndoom to get that accelerated. And the VMAX version, you have double energy for 60 and 4 colors energies, max Fusion for 120 plus. If stay in play, do 120 more damage and discard that stadium. So basically 240 with stadium play, and if you have any single strike energies, you do 260, 280, and you just add 20 more for each one. One of the big cards everybody's talking about is Shadow Rider Clarix. I know I did not pronounce that right, but my personal apologies. A lot of these Pokemon have some really fancy names sometimes. So the ability is once per turn, you can attach a psychic energy from your hand to one of your bench psychic Pokemon and then draw 2 cards. Melmar and Zoroark just made a combination, and this is a huge devastating card. Even its attack, Max Geist, for 10 plus, does 30 more damage for each psychic energy attached to your Pokemon in play. Yeah. You have 4 of these in the game. You're gonna plus 8 and plus 4 energies if you manage to get 4 energy on the field that turn. That's amazing. That is just gonna be an amazing card. I believe the water one's nothing to show about either. 2 colors energies, it does 30 more damage. Teach your opponent's bench Pokemon. So, 10. Oh, okay, so you have full bench, you could do 160, not bad. Max Lance does 10 plus 2 waters. You may discard to 2 water energies, this card does 220 more damage for each one. Oh, that's situational too. You can discard up to 2. So if you can knock a single price Pokemon out, that make it to 130, you're good. If not, you get the 250 factor. That's really good. Shadow Rider, let's see. It's the V card. During your opponent's next turn, your opponents can't play any special energy or stadium cards from their hand. Okay, good tech. And Astral Barrage, select 2 opponent's Pokemon and place 5 counters, tied damage counters on them. Again, another interesting type of attack. I don't see you'll see a whole lot of play of that one, but we'll see. Go down the list. We have the Ice VVX basic version, so you have to do 40 for RAM, and for 3 water energies, do 200, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. You might not see that card in play, as the VMAX versions are going to be really big popular in play. Again, we're going through all the basic Pokemon. I already announced some of the VMAXs, but again, some basic ones may have good too. So for Celebi V, do Leaf Dance, attach any number of grass energy from your hand to your Pokemon any way you like. That's awesome. Slashback 60. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. That first attack is going to be amazing, especially if you sound off all your Celebes at once to start laying the energies down. That's a good acceleration. Sakata V. If this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. Oh, okay. Well, that's not a bad situation. And it does 140 for 3. It's an okay card. Let's see. Leopard V. Hidden Claw. Once per turn, when you play this card from your hand onto your bench, you may discard a Pokemon tool attached to a Pokemon play. Bad. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, that's actually a pretty good ability. And then you got Shadow Ripper, 110. You may return this Pokemon and all cards attached to it to your hand. Yeah, a good bouncer card, and when you play this card from your hand on your bench, helps you discard. So, the Pokemon tool. Okay, that's not bad. Arctovis V. I think it's the first time this card's ever seen the Pokemon TCG in play. So for Primordial Freeze, does 80 damage to 3 energies, 1 water, 2 colors. If any Pokemon is a V or a G, it cannot attack your opponent's next turn. Okay, as long as they can't switch into another Pokemon, that's gonna be a good first attack. Second attack with 2 water, 2 colors, give you impact. can't use that attack their next turn, so we'll see. It's going to be a really interesting card to see him play. The one I'm looking forward to, and this is all because I was a big fan of Rotom, they made a new Rotom version in the form of Cast Form. And this is going to be a gimmicky deck, but that's sometimes these gimmicky decks could give you a run for your money. So the main thing is that each of these cast forms, the water, the fire, and I will see which ones they have here, but they all have an ability called Forecast. If you have 8 or more stadium cards in your discard pile, ignore all energy costs to your Pokemon. So, if Rotom's ability was the same thing, but it was tools, so basically you're going to run a high quantity of stadiums, and you're going to run Professor Juniper or any kind of way to discard your cards as fast as you can in order to get the ability going off. And in this format, there's quite a bit of cards you can discard right away in order to get the acceleration going. So let's just go through each. Since the abilities are the same, we're just going to go through the typing and the attack. So for colors cast form, if you do the ability off, Weather Force does 80 and draw 6 cards. So you have 6 cards in your hand. So replenish your hand all the time. That's awesome. Cast form, Raining Form. It does 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, so it's the spreader damage. And you have another water form, which is technically its ice form. That's why I call it snowy form. It does 120, and this Pokemon can't use frost, so basically it's a 120 hitter. You have the sunny form, which is your fire type. It does the 150 for if you discard a stadium play. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can do the 150 big hit, but if you can't discard a stadium, the attack fails. So you gotta have one stadium in play when you play this. Which, if you run a lot, it's gonna be possible to do. Path to the Peak. Both Pokemon in play with a rule box have no abilities. Wow. Okay. I officially see this card as Power Plants 2. Yeah, this is gonna see a lot of play. So, if you guys are not familiar with Power Plant, it basically turns off abilities and through GX Pokemon. And this right here is even better because both players in play with that rule box. That means since the new rule for rule box means V Pokemon, VMAX, GX, EX, anything that has the initials at the end of a Pokemon's name have no abilities. So if you're playing a deck that doesn't require to use abilities, or playing a single prize deck that doesn't require abilities, or actually single prize deck will take advantage of this because the abilities will work. You're shutting off Crobat Acceleration and expanding. You're shutting off quite a bit of things. You're shutting off Mewtwo decks. You're shutting off the Nenes. You're shutting off Shamans. This card is going to be broken stadium for a lot of decks. So if you want to make sure you shut things down for a lineup of this, let's go. It's going to be amazing. That's going to do a lot of damage. Old Cemetery. Let's see. Whenever a player attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their Pokemon, excluding Psychic type Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Okay. So basically Psychic Pokemon, advantage of this. And if you're attaching a bunch of energies, like a Deluge type of attack with Frostmoth or the Grass Acceleration, is going to chip damage away, but Psychic Pokemon get advantage of that. Yeah, I can see some plays with that. Melanie, attach water energy. Now this is the card that basically people are saying it is basically the welder for water Pokemon. Instead of 2 energies you can attach and then draw 2, you actually attach energy from your discard pile, 1 water energy to one of your V Pokemon, and you get to draw 3 cards. So water decks just got a huge support in standard. Expanded, same thing, but it's water is gonna be a big play, I would say, in this format. Fog Crystal. Search your deck for either a Psychic type basic Pokemon or Psychic Energy and put it in your hand. Oh wow, that again, I have not read a lot of these cards, but I already see so many potentials to this card. If you're not familiar with Netball, Netball is basically the same idea. You basically search for a basic grass Pokemon or a basic grass energy and put it in your hand and shuffle your deck afterwards. This is the same thing except for Psychic Pokemon, and I would say that's an amazing ability to have. So yeah, Psychic decks, you're gonna run 4 of those, no problem. Cresselia, Crescent Glow for 1 energy. Search your deck for a Psychic Energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon. If this is your first turn, going second, search your deck for 3 Psychic Energies and attach them to one of your Pokemon. Okay, so it's basically Volcanio, and let's see what the second attack does. Photon Laser, 30 plus. If you have at least 5 energies in play, this attack does 9 more damage. Yeah, this is basically the Volcania version of Psychic Pokemon. So if you go second, you're gonna supercharge your Pokemon up. I can see this card being a good full 4 in a deck, just to help acceleration wise. If you win the full coin toss and you go second, yeah, it's gonna be a very, very good plus card. Oh, Kecleon. We don't see a lot of these, and it's a multi-strike Pokemon. Ability Palette Swap. This Pokemon is the same type as all basic energies attached to it. If it has several types of basic energies attached, it is each of those types. Oh, wow. Okay, there was a type like this before that had an ability where I think it was unit energy that basically made it so it was 3 different energies each time, depending on which unit energy you attach. This is going to be a very, very interesting Pokemon, because since it is multi-strike, you can use Artillery to search. Oh, no, sorry, never mind. That won't work because it has to be basic energy. But still, you could plug him into any deck combination that you want to use multi-energies, and basically his attack, if it hits weakness, instead of doing 90, he's doing 180. So if there's a way to accelerate energy fast and doing so to do a hit for weakness, that's going to be a very good card to play. Lapras, you got 1 energy for, let's see, White's Call. Project to 2 Melanie cards, reveal them and put them in your hand. Okay, so basically this is a supporter card, so you can help do your acceleration process and you put yourself to sleep. It's okay. It's not the best card in the world, because people could play Marnie right now. It's a key card to play, and just shuffle your hand, you're back to your deck and drop 4. So, or shuffle the bottom of your deck. Then you got Gengar. Let's see. Ability Parting Gifts. When this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from your opponent's attack, search your deck for any 2 cards. Okay, so it's a twins, but for expanding supporter that whenever a Pokemon is knocked out, you search 2 cards. There's a built-in ability for that. And Pain Burst does 10 plus. This attack does 40 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, now I see where the ability of, I think it's Agatha, the one that transfers 3 damage counters on your active Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. It can add up. I mean, the other problem I have with Gengar, Gengars always have unique abilities, but it just doesn't. They never give it enough HP to make it stand on its own. So I can see some fun decks being built with this, but not taken seriously. Zarude, another Pokemon that's starting to see its and it's already been printed once before, but it's starting to see a good aspect of cards being printed. Horde-san. Search your deck for a grass type Pokemon, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your hand. Wait. Search your deck for a grass type Pokemon and put it into your hand. Shuffle your hand. If it's your first turn, go on second and search your deck for 3 grass type Pokemon instead. I think this means shuffle your deck. Yeah, that's probably a little typo. So, sorry for the little pause there. Yeah, I think it should be translated as shuffle your deck, not your hand. So that's okay. It's not a huge ability, but it's still good. Vines down to his Downpour, 60 plus. This attack does 20 more damage times the number of grass energy attached to his Pokemon. Again, situational. You could run this with Sharon and do 120s damages for single prize Pokemon, so it could see play. Again, we got another Power Rangers card that's 30 more damage against opponent's active fire type Pokemon. Again, I don't see these cards being in play as much. Maybe with Rotom, because it's discarding a lot of cards, and you could have multi different type Pokemon hitting certain weaknesses. So it depends. I just don't see a lot of play with these cards. Ribombee, you do stage 1, does Trick Step. You may move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench Pokemon. Okay, I mean, again, situational. It's not a decent attack, not too devastating. Lucky Energy. Okay, we got special energy here. When attached to a Pokemon, this provides one colorless energy. When this Pokemon has energy attached, or basically if this Pokemon, active Pokemon, is damaged by opponent's attack, or even is knocked out. Oh, okay. So basically, whenever you get knocked out, or take damage of any shape or form, you get to draw a card. So, Blessing decks, you can see a big factor in that, because you'll be doing, I believe it was 30 more for each energy you have attached to your Pokemon. You pick up 3 of these off your discard pile, and you can help yourself draw +3 each time it takes damage. So, we'll see. Abnormal Grass version is also a single strike Pokemon. Let's see, ability, Toughen Up. All of your single strike Pokemon in play get 50 plus HP, excluding Abnormal. You can't apply more. Okay, so basically they restrict it so only one can be working, and it can't apply to itself. But the fact that it gives 50 more HP is not a bad Pokemon. I see a lot of grass decks that grass version single strikes could benefit from this, so we'll see how that's gonna work out. Shift Tree. Okay, stage 2 dark. For 1 dark energy, does shift treed away. Okay, shift away. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any damage counters on it, put it and all cards attached to it back in your opponent's hand. That is a cool ability. All it works has damage counters on it. I feel that you're not going to see a lot of that being played. Yeah, I wish it would have said discarded instead of put it back in your opponent's hand. That's the other thing. But interesting effect. For the main attack, 1 dark, 2 colorless. Gelfin is 130. Discard a card from your opponent's hand without looking. Okay, discard 1 random card from the hand, do 130. It's okay. Grapple Lock. Ability, Stranglehold Master. When this Pokemon is your active, your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost becomes 2 more. That will become a very interesting tech as a stage 1. Mainly because you get a lot of Pokemon that have the 1 or 2 retreat costs, and it will force opponent to use switches, and they can't switch out, then yeah, it will get stuck. Its attack, 1 fighting, 2 colorless, cycle, Synchro Buster, does 80 plus if you and your opponents have the same number of cards in hand, does 80 more damage. So you can play Marnie, drop 1 card, so you're down to 4/4. I mean, there's ways you get your hand equal. I don't think you're gonna see much play with this card. It's just too much of energy costs. The ability is nice, but the energy cost is too high for it. Weavile, you got a Rapid Strike Pokemon. For 1 colorless energy, does knockout tag. During your next turn, if the same Pokemon is damaged by an attack from a Rapid Strike Pokemon, it will be knocked out. Oh wow, okay. So if your opponent takes this attack and then doesn't retreat next turn, and you attack, you have to basically have to switch out Weavile with another Pokemon, you automatically get to knock it out with a Rapid Strike Pokemon. Okay, that's not bad. And my pardon, I've been using the term multi-strike, and when I say multi-strike, I meant to say Rapid Strike. So I'm just using the multi as an idea. Rapid Strike is hitting multiple times. 1 water, National Plot, search your deck for 2 cards and put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Hypno, 110. 1 puts your opponent to sleep. Wake Up Slap does 30 plus. Your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by such condition. This card does 30 more damage and remove all the conditions off the Pokemon. As a Stage 1, it can be very interesting for this card, especially just 1 energy. Yeah, actually, I think you might see some interesting plays with this, especially with Weeping Bill, because you're doing 30 plus 90 for each condition, you remove them. But the idea is that you could, wow, there's some interesting deck concepts you can do with this. Potentially for 1 energy, you do Whipping Bill. I think it does Poison and Burn, or Poison and Confuse. One of those 2 combinations. So you could do, what, 110? Oh, sorry, 210 for 90, 90, and 30. Yep. So that's going to be very interesting. Cinderace. Yeah, it's a Stage 2 single strike Pokemon. Hot Spot Power. This attack does 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has already taken. Okay. So the opponent's head of the game, you do more damage. And you Fireball, Shoot. This guy can't use this Pokemon this turn. Not bad for Stage 2. I mean, if you play a pure Stage 2 version of this, and you have Houndoom, it can accelerate pretty fast. So we'll see what happens. Then again, you got Stage 2 Rillaboom. Wood Drain for 2 energies. Grass and Colors. It does heal 30 damage for his Pokemon. I think his main attack is the Surging Beat. For 2 Grass, 1 Colors, does 120. Plus, you may discard any number of energies you like. If you do, the attack does 30 more damage for each energy discarded. I see Sharon with this deck. And with 3 energies being discarded, you're doing 240 for single prize. It's not bad. I love the fact that it is, again, the multi-strike Pokemon, or Rapid Strike, I should say. And so that is a good searchable area, especially with the Grass Stadium, to get any Grass Evolutions once per turn. So you're definitely going to see this card in play with Sharon. Single strike Pokemon to get the Lycanroc. For Stage 1, for 2 fire energies, does Rogue Fang. 80 plus, this attack does 10 more damage for each single strike Pokemon in your discard pile. Oh, okay. So it's sort of like Flareon back in the day, where he did X amount of damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile. So yeah, right on. I mean, you can easily get that attack going off really quick. So yeah, we'll see how that is going to go. Melmar, okay. Rapid Strike. We're going to do 4 energy. Rapid Technicals, 40 damage. Revealing number of Rapid Strike Pokemon, Rapid Strike cards in your hand, not Pokemon, cards. This attack does 40 damage for each card you reveal this way, and then shuffle them back in your deck. Okay, so you have 6 cards in hand, all Rapid Strike, and you're doing 240 damage for 1 energy. Downside is you got more cards left in your hand. So situational wise, this could be a good card. You could play if every card in your deck was considered the Rapid Strike type cards. You can run Artillery with this. Search your deck. You get the supporter one that draws up to 6 cards, and technically, if all the cards were that, therefore you'd be able to do 240 every turn. So situational wise, that could be a cool combo if you're able to get that many off. We'll see how it pans out. Flannery, supporter, single strike, supporter. Choose 1 special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon and 1 standard in play and discard them. Okay, since we're going into a format with the single strike and multi-strike type Pokemon, oh sorry, I keep on saying multi-strike, my apologies, Rapid Strike Pokemon, you're able to discard those special energies, so that might see some play. We'll have to wait and see. Seabold. It's a supporter for Rapid Strike. It heals 60 damage from up to 2 of your Rapid Strike Pokemon. Okay. I mean, again, situational card. The 60 damage is a good amount of HP to heal, so we'll see. Then you got Single Strike Scroll. Scroll of Staff for Single Strike Pokemon. So you got a tool card here. Lets you attack. If you just attach to a single strike Pokemon, it acts like an additional attack. So this attack is called Overreach for 120 when fighting 2 colors. This attack damage ignores weakness, resistance, and any other effects. So basically, we have a Shred. If you're not familiar with Shred, it basically allows this damage to purely go through it. It's always doing 120 regardless. If you have a Safeguard card, it just pierces right through it. So this is going to probably be a 1 of or 2 of in a single prize deck, especially for V Pokemon. Because you got a Turi that has that ability Safeguard, so this will be a way to pierce right through it. So yeah, good card. And Rapid Strike also gets their own variation of a tool card called Flying Suplex for 1 electric and 1 colorless. Ooh, electric energy. That's very interesting. Does 10 plus. This attack does 50 more damage for each energy attached to opponent's Pokemon. Wow. Single Strike. If you have the bear, there's 4 energies on there. So you're doing 210 with 2 energy cost. That is going to be very interesting concept, yes. Spiral Energy. This card counts as well for Rapid Strike Pokemon, and you can't touch anyone else, you discard it. So basically it has to be a Rapid Strike Pokemon you attach its energy to. As long as it's attached to, it provides every type of energy, so it's like Rainbow. This Pokemon this card is attached to cannot be affected by paralysis. So basically it's Rainbow Energy, and then it's immune to being paralyzed. So if you have any paralyzing thing going on, you don't have to worry about your Pokemon not being able to attack that turn or retreat, or by switch means. So that's good. And then you got Impact Energy. Now I know there's a ruling on this card, and I'll get to that in a second for people. So basically, Single Strike Energy, you only be attached to Single Strike Pokemon. So if you don't, then you discard it. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it basically is Rainbow Energy, and you can't be poisoned. Now, there's a ruling on this Pokemon that has to do with Houndoom. If you haven't heard from it yet, it makes sense because Houndoom says it searches for single strike energies, and this is a single strike energy based off the subcategory on the Pokemon card. But the ruling was right now in Japan that the Houndoom's ability was focused on the name of the text of the name of the card, not the type of what the card is. So until that ruling changes, for right now Houndoom can only search for single strike energies that have the name Single Strike Energy. Since it's called Impact Energy, you cannot search for it even though it is Single Strike category. So just they may change the ruling later on. We will have to wait and see. Again, you got your Rapid Strike Rookies. Flip a coin, does 30 damage for each heads for 2 coins. Another one, you discard a random card from opponent's hand. And you got your little basic one, Squirt Bunny for 1 energy headbutt. That's actually not that bad. Little adorable little attacks. Reboots for 2 energy, and it's all single strike. Then your next turn, this attack Pokemon can't attack, so not really worried about that. You're really gonna evolve next turn. Inkay, again, another Pokemon that's doing just 20 damage. Rockruff for 2 energy does 30. And you hopefully get heads, discard energy attached to that Pokemon. Here we go. Now we're getting some interesting cards. Galarian Slowking, one of my favorite Pokemon. Ability with Secret Medicine. Once you're in a turn, you may choose one of your Pokemon and flip a coin of heads, heal 90 damage from that Pokemon. If tails, put 3 damage counters on Pokemon. Oof. Oh, I mean, it's situational. Yeah, that's a very situational card. And attack does, you're not really in for attack, you're really in for the ability. I guess if you run 2 of these, and your chances are hopefully in your favor to get 1 heads, you're healing 90 if you get 1. If you get 1 tails, 1 heads, you're only healing 60 in a sense. But it is situational, I'll give it that. So we'll see what happens. Survival Kit. It's an item card. Look at the top 3 cards. Oh, sorry, the 3 cards from the bottom of your deck. Rearrange them any way you like and put them on top of your deck. Okay, so you basically take 3 cards, look at them on the bottom, and rearrange them on top. So if you play Marnie, you know what you put on the bottom. You put the bottom 3 cards you want to have in that order, and then you could take those cards and put them back on top. So it could be a pretty interesting combo if you get it off right. Run this with Marnie and run it with the Psychic Horse. So if you play Marnie and you have key cards there and you happen to get this item card, you get those key cards back on top, and you play your Psychic Energy to get those guaranteed cards back. So it is situational. Glittering Weezing, I believe this is the one that, it has two Weezings that work together. So the Glittering form has an ability called Energy Factory. Any basic dark energy is attached to your Pokemon in play with Weezing in their name. That includes Glittering Weezing and regular Weezing. Provides 2 energies instead. You can't apply more than 1 Energy Factory ability at a time. Oh, so they kind of nerfed it, which is a good thing because it's been too dang good. So basically, with the ability active, it takes 1 energy to 50 damage for it. But the idea is that you use that Glittering Weezing with the regular Weezing, which is here, and that one says, for 1 energy, your opponent's active Pokemon is confused. Attach Darkness energy from your discard pile to its Pokemon. Okay, not bad. Main one is its main attack, which is Smog Burst. Or Smog Burst. Does 20 plus. This attack does 20 more damage for each Darkness energy attached to all of your Pokemon in play. Wow. If you have a way to accelerate in Standard your Dark energies, and by having Glittering Weezing double each energy as 2, so obviously if you have 2 energies as 4, you could see some devastating numbers adding up really quick. So idea is you have 5 energies on the field, you're doing 200 damage plus 20, so you do 220 because of the Weezing's combo to each other. You could see some really interesting decks in that play, so we'll see. Coughing, Smog 20, opponent's Pokemon is Poison. It's a better Tauros. I really love this. I really love this new style artwork they're doing for the single strikes. Actually, the style in general. For single strike, Tauros, Raging Bull, like any other Tauros, this attack does 20 more damage for each damage counter on his Pokemon, and the Pokemon is now confused. Wow. Okay, so we could simply put that it's Rage for 20 each plus 20, and that's gonna be a very interesting concept. And Takedown does 80 3 damage to itself, so you could basically use Takedown to plus up until you plus up on Raging Bull and just do more damage. Talonflame is the colorless version, so for 1 energy does 20 during your opponent's next turn. Depending on Pokemon can't retreat. Well, can't retreat normally, but you still use switches and escape ropes. 2 colorless, Nitro Dive does 80 plus if this Pokemon has any fire energy attached to it, 80 more damage. As a stage 2, I mean, I don't think you're gonna see much play of that one. If you do, yeah, it's just not gonna see much play. Gardevoir. Ability Arcana Lights. Once per turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and in your deck and attach them to any number of basic entities cards you find at your Pokemon any way you like. Put the other cards into your hand. Right? So look up to top 2. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck and attach any number of energies, basic energies to your Pokemon you would like, and put the cards. Okay. So basically, you're getting +2 from your deck, and if they're energies, you attach them. If they're not, you just keep them in your hand. Not a bad ability. That's stage 2. And this attack does Brainwave. 3 colors, 60 plus. This attack does 30 more damage for each psychic energy attached to Pokemon. That card will see play. Mainly on the account that you could accelerate this. I see a very good combo with this and Akuma VMAX because his first attack allows you to plug energies on your bench Pokemon, 1 energy from your deck each. So that's a very good acceleration purpose, and you got the ability itself that helps you accelerate. So we'll see how that works out. Phenonia. Supporter. Choose up to 3 of your prize cards and put them into your hand. Then choose that same number of cards from your hand and add them to your prize card face down. Okay, so I want people to understand this even though the text is not there. We had a supporter card that did that before. You could take a supporter card and, well, switch it with the card in your hand. I believe the additional ruling to this is going to be that if you choose 3 cards, you place them down, your prize cards are more likely going to have to be shuffled. Now, I don't want to quote that yet, but I'll try to find out more ruling on that later. But I believe the idea is that anytime the standing cards get switched from your hand, or cards get switched in play, that I think you have to shuffle them. So I'll find more information about that, but we'll go ahead and go on. Feeny, supporter, discard your hand, and then search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards and put them in your hands, then shuffle your deck. Okay. I can see it with the horses. You just basically play your supporter. You get the 2 item cards, will get you the orbs. Like you use for psychic basic Pokemon, psychic V Pokemon, or psychic energy. So it has a very unique ability. If you run into that stadium, that if you have no hand, you draw up to 3 cards. There's a good combo going on there. Substrika, Rapid Strike. It's first attack. This 1 colorless Link Bolts. If any other Rapid Strike Pokemon use an attack during your previous turn, the attack does 9 more damage. Okay, so basically the idea of Rapid Strike, you want to tag your Pokemon from bench to active to do more damage. A lot of them have that type of attack. And the second attack for Spark Rush does 192 colors, does 90 times flip coin to tails. You're not going to see much of that in play. It's the first attack you're going to see more in play than anything else. So basically for energy, you're doing 120. It's not bad. And then the last card is Blitzel. We got Rapid Strike. I know people make that joke about Blitzel because it looks like it's stuck on an iceberg. It has no idea what happened to him. I think it woke up and the island was missing. The iceberg just cut off from the bigger iceberg, and it's just floating away. So for 1 energy, it does 10 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That's it, guys.